As parents, you've all had that moment. Your child suddenly covers their ears in a noisy restaurant. They melt down in the middle of the grocery store, or they become completely overwhelmed by something as simple as a tag in their clothing. And often what parents hear next is, it's just behavior, or they'll grow out of it. But what if these reactions aren't behavioral at all? What if they're actually signs of something deeper happening inside your child's nervous system? And what if understanding the neurological root of overstimulation is the missing piece that finally brings you real answers and real lasting change? This conversation is for parents of children who struggle with sensory overload and overstimulation. Maybe your child has a diagnosis like autism, ADHD, or sensory processing disorder. Or maybe they don't have a diagnosis at all. You just know they're easily overwhelmed by the world around them. Either way, you're not imagining this, and you're not alone. Here's something most parents don't realize. According to the CDC, up to 40% of school-age children today have at least one chronic health condition, and sensory challenges are becoming increasingly common. Yet most approaches focus on avoiding triggers or managing symptoms with noise-canceling headphones, rigid routines, sensory tools, without ever asking why your child's nervous system is overwhelmed in the first place. The medical system tends to separate these challenges into different boxes: autism, ADHD, anxiety, sensory processing disorder. But what we see clinically is that many of these struggles are connected by one common thread, and that is nervous system dysregulation. So let's talk about what overstimulation really is. From a neurological perspective, overstimulation happens when the brain receives more sensory input than it can effectively process. Think of it like a traffic jam inside the nervous system. Too many signals are coming in at once, and the system doesn't know how to organize them, leading to that crash. This isn't about your willpower. It's not about your child being too sensitive, and it's definitely not about bad behavior. It's about how your child's brain and nervous system are functioning and adapting to their environment. A big part of this comes down to the autonomic nervous system, the system that controls everything your child's body does automatically. There are two main branches to it: the sympathetic nervous system, which we like to call the fight or flight system, and the parasympathetic nervous system, often referred to as rest and digest. In a regulated nervous system, there's a healthy balance between these two. The body can respond to stress and then calm back down. But when subluxation and neurological stress are present, many children get stuck in sympathetic dominance, essentially living in a consistent state of fight or flight. And when that happens, we start to see a cascade of effects: difficulty sleeping, digestive issues, emotional outbursts, anxiety, trouble focusing, sensory input that feels unbearable instead of manageable. So how does a child's nervous system get to this point? We often talk about something called the perfect storm in our office. It can begin before birth. Prenatal stress has been shown to even have an impact on the fetal brain development and sensory processing. During birth, physical stress from interventions like C-sections, forceps, or vacuum extraction can place strain on the nervous system. And then early childhood stressors bring its own stress with it as well. Illnesses, antibiotics, environmental toxins, screens, and constant sensory demands. Each layer adds stress to the nervous system, and over time, that system becomes overwhelmed. Parents often notice the signs even if they don't have language for it yet: headaches, fatigue, nausea, emotional volatility, anxiety, meltdowns, difficulty focusing, needing to escape noisy or busy environments. They are not random behaviors. They're signals that your child's nervous system is struggling to process and regulate the world around them. This is where neurologically focused chiropractic care comes in, and that's why it's so different from symptom-based approaches. Using advanced insight scans, we're able to identify exactly where your child's nervous system is experiencing the stress and subluxation. These scans allow us to see how the nervous system is functioning, adapting, and regulating, not guessing. Through gentle, precise adjustments, we help release that stuck sympathetic stress and activate the parasympathetic system. When the nervous system begins to regulate, sensory input becomes easier to process, emotional regulation improves, sleep often improves, focus improves, and parents often tell us it's like my child can finally take a breath. We're not just managing symptoms, we're addressing the root cause. If you're tired of watching your child struggle with sensory overload and you're ready to look deeper, it may be time to explore neurologically based chiropractic care. At Lighthouse Family Chiropractic, we use state-of-the-art insight scanning technology to create a personalized care plan based on exactly how your child's nervous system is functioning. And these scans are non-invasive, gentle, and can be done with your child sitting next to you or even in your lap. The first step towards real lasting change is understanding how your child's nervous system is adapting to the world around them, where it's stressed, where it's stuck, and how we can help calm it. We want to help your child experience the world without being overwhelmed by it, and we can't wait to be a part of that experience for them and your family.